you might think that, all right, that's naive. They're going to go out there and abuse it. But then when they do, it won't be too long before it gets back to me. And then what I'll do is, instead of really coming down hard on that student, I'll remind the class that people have been abusing the bathroom privilege. Now, if we all want to be treated like adults and be able to use the bathroom, now, like adults, we're going to have to do what we say we're going to do. I mean, if you really need to make a phone call, tell me and I'll let you make the phone call. You don't have to lie your way into something.
Through psychology, what are your views on love, in general?
Love, between husband and wife, total freedom. I think any kind of, and it's hard for a lot of students when they're teenagers because they're so wrapped up in their boyfriend, girlfriend. But what I've found through psychology and through life lessons is that the more confining you are in a relationship, the harder it is to hold on to it. If you really, really love somebody, you want what's best for them, and that might not be what you want them to be. What's best for them might be something other than what you think is best for them. So I believe in total freedom. Like, my wife wants to go out with dinner with some other guy, I'm okay with that. I'm not, if I were to be insecure and jealous about that sort of thing, then I'm making that love relationship be, you have to be with me because you're married to me, not because you want to be. And I wouldn't want a relationship where somebody was stuck with me because I'm forcing it, or because I have some legal piece of paper that says that they're my spouse. I mean, I believe that the best relationships are ones where you can do whatever you want. Now, that doesn't mean that you go out and do hurt. I wouldn't go out and do things that I know would hurt my wife. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying that doesn't mean that you can get naughty and unfaithful and do things like that. But if that's what your significant other wants to do, and you're not okay with it, then maybe that's not the relationship you should be in. Maybe you should find somebody that's more along the same lines as you. But the answer to your question is I don't believe in jealousy or being confining and limiting.
Does your family and siblings and stuff like that, do they play a big part in I guess how you teach others?
Yeah, when you say my family and my siblings, are you talking about my parents when you say my family?
Yeah.
Okay, not my wife and my kids, but my parents and my brother and sister. We're not that close because of geographical reasons. I mean, I'm the only one here in Hawaii. Although we all lived here before. My mom and dad live in San Diego. My sister lives in Mount Shasta, and my brother lives in Michigan. So we see each other more and more rarely as the years go by. When there was the generation above my parents, the grandparents, there was a meeting point in Stockton, California, to where not only my family, but all of my grandparents' siblings would all meet for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And at that point in my life, they did have a huge influence. But now that I've gotten my own children, and I mean, we still see each other, but it's not twice a year. It's maybe once every few years. So the amount of influence is not as strong as it used to be, and the whole family tree identity is not as close-knit as it was. My generation, well, my parents' generation started it, and my generation continued it to where it's not as family orientated as the generations from before.
So do you think like, do you think you'd teach differently if you had like the family you grew up with around?
Teaching? I mean, the obvious answer is yes, because you know the things that you learn when from your family are things that are long term ingrained inside you. The question was, if they were still here, would I teach differently?
Yeah.
Yes, if I was seeing her on a day-to-day basis, rather than talking for an hour every Sunday, I'm sure more of her guidance would be present in my teaching than it is.
Do you think your childhood was like happy? You had a good childhood?
It was. It wasn't perfect, but nobody's can be. There's always going to be things that you didn't like. But my mother was stuck in California her whole life, and so she married a naval officer because she wanted to see the world. That was great for her, but I ended up having to say goodbye to all my friends and make new friends every 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
And that, although for one part I got to see this world, I got to live just about anywhere you can spin the globe and put your finger on. I've been there, right? But long-lasting friendships, like people, like if you've grown up in Makakilo your whole life and gone to the same school, you have a whole different identity of yourself and where you fit than where I did, because I was everywhere. It was happy because, my dad was in the Navy and I'm in love with the ocean. So I got to see the world's oceans, which that part of it was real happy. But making good friends and then having to leave them all the time, that wasn't as happy as it could be, and it happened way too often.
How you see like life? Is it like a roller coaster, ups and downs?
Oh yeah.
So, do you think that you can control, like, if you knew a lot more about psychology and stuff like that? Do you think you can control if there's more ups and downs?
Okay, life's a roller coaster, but your focus determines your reality. So you have total control. What you believe to be true is true. So the answer to the question is, yeah, I have total control. Whatever I decide to make happen is what happens. The roller coaster part for me isn't, my control over where I go to work and who I choose to spend my time with. The roller coaster is that life can emotionally, when you say roller coaster, things can be going good, and then setbacks, some of which are beyond your control. When I say your focus determines your reality, that's, if I decide I'm going to be a teacher and I focus on being a teacher, you make that happen. You can't control when your parents are going to pass away, or if the economy is going to go bad. When we were talking about roller coaster, that doesn't mean that you don't have control. I don't have control over the global economy, but I do have control over my own finances. You can continue if you want, but I just let you know you are good.
I don't know. I just like talking.
Yeah, that's fine.
But